Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. Around here, we'll be talking about all things expansion, going from good to great and from great to greatness. I'm your host, Barbie. Get ready for your next level. Let's do this. What standard do you hold yourself to when you do things? That sounds like a vague question, but I'm going to make it more specific. So when you are working, let's say that you are in business, and actually this episode is going to be more geared toward someone who is in some kind of business. In today's episode, I really want to talk about energetic capacity. A lot of times we think that in order to be successful, we have to do X, Y, and Z, or that we need to work. It's not so much the number of hours, but we tend to compare ourselves to other people, what other people are doing. And it just occurred to me just a few days ago, because I had a powerful experience that I really want to share with you, that when it comes to energy, we are often thinking that we have to be like other people in order to succeed. And that is not true. It also occurred to me that we talk a lot about masculine and feminine energies. So masculine energy is the energy of doing, it's the energy of building, it's the energy of drive. It is the walls of a building or of a business. It is the structure. It is linear. Feminine energy is more about flow, faith, creativity. And it's in one word, it is flow. It is that dark energy. And that all sounds really beautiful and theoretical, but what does it look like in reality? What does it look like in 3D life? I just experienced something which made me really realize that it's not that black and white. And so I wanted to share this example with you that I think will be super, super helpful. Okay, so I was sitting on my couch and a brand new program came through. So let me back up for a second and share with you that maybe, 4 or 5 months ago, the name of a new program presented itself to me, and it is Athena. Athena is the goddess of war, of strategy, of wisdom and peace. And warriors used to consult Athena. So this is mythology. We're talking about mythology because I wrote something and some guy wrote like, oh, this is a false god. I'm like, it's mythology. Give me a break. Warriors used to consult Athena in their strategy. And so she was the goddess of strategy. I'm less interested about the war part because this new program is actually going to be a program about the art of business. It's going to be about the strategy, the wisdom, and the peace that we are employing and integrating and operating from. But when I came up with the name Athena for my new program, I had no idea that it was going to be what it is going to be now. I just knew that it was a name, and I thought, you know what? People always tell me that I am wise, and I thought, well, I can create a program around wisdom. Like, what do women need to know in order to have a beautiful life? So I thought it was going to be more of a life program and not a business program. But guess what? Nothing came through. So I trusted, this is the feminine energy, I trusted that the program name was perfect. I did not force myself to come up with an outline for the program because I was really drawing a blank. And I just left it there. And I said, gosh, I really love the name, but I don't really know what it's going to be about. And nothing inspired was coming through. So masculine energy would have been making it happen, coming up with an outline. And the thing is, my back wasn't up against the wall, because I know sometimes your back is up against the wall and you have to do certain things. But sometimes you have that freedom, you have that creativity. And so instead, I just focused on something else. I actually launched a different program, Empress, which just wrapped up, and it was absolutely beautiful. And my life went on, and I wasn't really thinking much about Athena until the other day. I was simply sitting down, thinking and pondering and contemplating, and oh, I know how it happened. I was actually thinking, as I always do, I was saying to myself, well, I get to do this my way. That's my tagline. That was the tagline for Empress. Business your way. You get to run your business, operate your business. You get to operate your life your way. So I was just trying to think of different permutations for Empress, because Empress is actually going to be a mastermind where I don't actually teach concepts. And so I thought to myself, but people need to know the concepts of masculine, feminine energies and how that relates to running a business. So for example, if you have an online business and you want to create offers, there are, I'm not kidding when I say there are a gazillion ways to build offers. There are a gazillion ways to run your business. There are a gazillion ways to run your offers. There are so many things that business owners, entrepreneurs really need to know, for example, about hiring a team, hiring contractors. And as I was preparing for that particular module on hiring, I had this flashback of the time that I had an assistant, and this is well over 10 years ago. This is when I realized that I actually had a business. And I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details, but I'll tell you something. She messed up and she took an email that did not belong to her. And instead of forwarding it to herself for her private use, which was not legal, she forwarded it to my customers. And of course, I was upset. I hired a lawyer. And when I went to speak to the lawyer in a Dallas office, I walked into this tower of a building, and then I walked into the boardroom, and they took this matter very seriously. And they were like, you have a business. And I said, I have a business. I need to form a corporation. And so this experience turned into a beautiful thing because it led me to take measures as an entrepreneur. My little side gig had become a huge company. And so that's wisdom. And so that's what I'm sharing in this brand new program, Athena. It's how do you prevent some of and I'm not being doom and gloom at all. How do you prevent some of the pitfalls that I've gone through? And how do you learn the wisdom? How do you learn the knowledge and the skills and the information? And how do you take your own wisdom so that you can have a thriving business? So anyway, that is just one example of how you take your experience and how you alchemize it and turn that into wisdom. And that's just one of the modules. But anyway, so I was sitting on the couch and I was thinking of the different permutations of how I want to run the next Empress. And I thought, okay, well, people need to have the information first. They need to have the knowledge first. And what do they need to know? And I was like, well, they need to know about hiring a team. They need to know about certain things about social media. This is not a social media course, but they need to know certain things about social media. They need to know what it really takes to build a business, entrepreneurs need to know how to manage the wobbly up and down roller coaster of business, because I really do believe that people are not prepared for that. And so they get discouraged and then they think that they're the problem, but it's not that they're the problem. It's just that the nature of business is up, down, up, down, up, down. It could be trending upward if you have the right mindset, the right expectations, the right understanding. And so there are so many different pieces to running a super successful business. First, I thought I would do audio recordings. And then I realized that people actually like to connect with me on camera. So I said, well, I could do both. And so this is the process. This is the creative process of trying to figure out, it's not even trying to figure out, of playing with different options of like, do I want to do it like this? Do I want to do it like this? Do I want to do it like this? And this is important for you to know because you get to see me in the process. Because a lot of times all you see is the end result of whatever the person is creating, whatever the person is putting out there into the world, right? The program, Athena, goddess of strategy, wisdom, and peace. But here you're getting the behind the scenes of how Athena was created. So as I was thinking of the different permutations, and you guys, I literally could not stop my pen from writing. Like my fingers and my hand were connected, and it was like this fire hose of clarity that was just like pouring through me. I have like 50 pages, and they're not 50 pages of gibberish. It's 50 pages of like, I'm so very clear on what this needs to be. And somewhere during the writing, I'm like, oh, Athena, this program is a separate standalone program, and it will be called Athena. And this is the content that I'm actually writing out. This is not going to be Empress. And this is a program where women, although there was a man that inquired about it, and I'm totally okay with that because we're talking about feminine, masculine energies, and we're talking about real strategy. And so men are welcome. The people that I serve are 99%, they're 100% women, but I guess, I don't know. But I'm just saying they're 99% of the time, they are women. And yeah, I'm totally open. So I said, this is a standalone program and it's going to be called Athena. And then for those who have the information, they've integrated the information, they can choose to graduate into Empress. So that is that. And it's so exciting. I'm beyond the moon because I absolutely know that this is going to be my best program yet. And it's not that the other programs haven't been my best. It's just that I get better and better with time and practice. And that's progress. I absolutely 100% know and feel that I'm stepping into the best version of myself. Like there's obviously, because we're moving forward, right? And I guess you have the option of moving backwards, but that's not an option for me. And if you're sitting there and you're like, okay, that's very not humble of you, why should I play small? And this is also an invitation for you to play big and for you to say, what is that next level version of myself? What is it? And am I excited? Am I willing to step forward to be that next level version of myself? And I can tell you that for me, the answer is absolutely yes. Okay, we're going to go back to the beginning of the podcast where I said that I was writing like a mad woman and that we tend to compare ourselves to other people and other people's energetic capacities. I was so excited to get this information out of my brain. Again, it didn't even feel like it was in my brain. It felt like it was just running through me, that it was the integrated wisdom of being on earth 49 plus years and being in business almost 16 years. And the information was just being written. So yes, there was some thinking involved because I wanted the wording to come out and I wanted to tease out my ideas. So first I did a rough outline and then I did very specific outline. So my module on hiring and team is I stopped at 10 pages single spaced. Notice this. I was working on the computer probably 6 hours, but I did take breaks. I was very conscientious to not be glued to the computer. So I would go out, I would work for 2 hours. I would go outside. I would play with the doggies. I would take a break. I would make a snack. Then I'd come back to work. And I would say that I was in a wonderful flow. But what is my own energetic capacity? I worked until I was satisfied. I was taking breaks, as I said. And so a lot of times when we talk about masculine energy, we talk about, or the hyper masculine, we talk about overdoing it. Well, if I looked at myself, I didn't feel like I was overdoing it, but my body and my brain felt differently by the end of the day. And that's when I realized that I had overdone it. And so if I compared myself to someone else who can work 8 hours in a healthy way for them, taking breaks as needed, going on walks, exercising, going to the bathroom, all that stuff, then I would have been like, but I only worked 6 hours. But what is my energetic capacity? I exceeded it. And I didn't even feel it at that moment. So was I being hyper masculine? Well, I guess you could say that I was, but I didn't feel it at that moment. You know, I'm going to say no, I wasn't being hyper masculine, but in that moment, I was just not aware of what my body needed because I felt so good, because I felt so excited. By the end of the evening, my head was like, oh, I think I had eye strain, to be honest. I think I need to get one of those like blue light glasses or whatever they're called. And I think I have a pair downstairs. Anyway, my head was about to burst and I was like, oh no, I overdid it. And so the next day I woke up, my head was still like, I just knew that if I showed up and continued working, because I had the enthusiasm inside me to keep working. But here's what I want you to hear, that I was able to honor my body and my brain's needs. And that is the feminine coming in and saying, you need rest. Your brain needs rest. You are not that person that can work 10 hours or apparently 6 hours in one day of hyper focus. And so I took almost 2.5 days off, not beating myself up, not saying like, oh, I can't believe you overdid it. And like, you know, you knew better than this and you're so bad or you're so this. No, it was with compassion that I said, you know what? I'm going to take some rest. I'm not going to force myself. This work that I'm so excited to do is going to be here tomorrow. And then tomorrow came, which was yesterday. And I was still like, my brain was like, I think you still need to rest. And I didn't feel physically tired. It was just that my brain and my eyes felt very full from the screen, I think. And so I decided to take the doggies to the vet. And I had a wonderful experience at the vet anyway. Just like, I'm just enjoying life so much. When I went to bed last night, I said a little prayer and I said, well, I hope that tomorrow is the day that I can get back on the computer, because there are things that I want to do. I want to continue working on the project. I want to record a podcast. There's something else that I want to record. And I woke up, I was like, okay, how's my brain doing? And I swam. I've been swimming lately and having so much fun doing that. And I was like, oh, my brain feels really good. Yes. And so I recorded my other video. I'm recording this podcast right now. And after this, I'm going to honor my body and I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to go sit outside with the doggies and I'm going to rest. But what is my point here? My point here is that I'm listening to my body. If I compare myself to someone else, if you compare yourself to someone else, someone's ideal of what you need to be doing and how you need to be working, you are going to set yourself up for disappointment or maybe burnout. Or what if you are that person that can work 10, 12? I have a friend that can work 14 hours a day and she's happy, she's healthy, she takes breaks. Like her energetic capacity is huge. Well, good for her. She's honoring herself. I'm not like that. And so I'm honoring myself by resting. So this is my version of using my wisdom. And this is me listening to my body to say, okay, it's okay to rest. That's my feminine coming to the rescue, not rescue, but my feminine coming in to be like, Barbie, it's okay to rest. You can be gentle. You can take care of yourself. You can just relax. You can just watch a movie. You could listen to your meditations instead of pushing through, which I would have done in the past. And then that would have set me back in the long run. And if this really resonated with you and you are in any kind of business, whether you are a coach of any kind, whether you're a body partner, whether you're in network marketing, whether you have a yoga studio, a yoga retreat center, whether you have any kind of business and online business, it can be a brick and mortar business too, because we're really talking about tapping into your wisdom. So we're talking about the magic and we're talking about the strategy. There is going to be a section on online offers. There's going to be a section on pricing. There's going to be a section on energetics. We're going to have a conversation about social media. We're going to have a talk about the team. We're going to talk about what it really takes to thrive. There are going to be at least 8 modules. It's going to be freaking magic. And for a very limited time, I've decided to make this, like, I'm not kidding, a no-brainer. Like a no-brainer with the price. And there's an option for VIP to have 2 group live calls with me where you get to bring your business to the table and we get to mastermind and have a Q&A for those calls. I'm telling you that the price is ridiculous. Like it should be illegal. It should be illegal because it's so accessible. I understand that if you're a business owner and you're not making the income that you want to make yet, that certain prices, certain investments are not accessible. I've been there. I understand that. And I'm telling you that this particular Athena, for a very limited time, I'm making it like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's illegal. So it's not illegal. It should be illegal. Anyway, so the invitation is there for you. And even if you're not interested in this program, Athena, I hope that you were able to extract some value from it because this is wisdom, and you can use your life experiences to craft any kind of beautiful life in your personal life or in your business life. The link is below if you want to access it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'm so happy that we're on this journey together. I'll see you next time. If you loved this episode and if you're loving my podcast, I would love for you to leave a review. They really do make a difference in spreading the word and having more people be impacted. Also, I'd love for you to join me in my Facebook community called The Magnetic Portal. You can find the link in the show notes. I'll see you next time.